Welcome to Mastering Fusion, Inventor and Vault with Autodesk eLearning and Autodesk Learner Management System. So we will be presenting today. I will be co-hosting with Nuran. She is our BIM technical specialist under the AEC, and myself, of course, Natalie Barathan. I am the business development manager for CADLearning here at Baker Bains. So the agenda today, just want to quickly go over this. First of all, some housekeeping rules. If we could just keep all of the questions to the end, we do have a designated time to answer some of your questions. You can put your questions in the chat box. First of all, we'll just introduce Baker Bains. Then we'll go into the Autodesk online learning platform and what is CAD learning. We'll go into the CADLearning Enterprise platform. We'll go through some of the challenges that the industry is faced with at the moment, specifically to do with your people, processes, and technology. And then from there, I will be giving you an enterprise solution for those three categories in terms of people, processes, and technology. Then I'm going to go and hand it over to Nuran. She's going to give you a bit of a demonstration. And then from there, we will have a conclusion and a call to action. All right. So here at Baker Bains, we actually transformed in the last 6 years from pardon me, an Autodesk, being an Autodesk reseller into more of an actual consultancy company. And we really live by our motto, and that is we solve our customers' problems through digital transformation, helping them to design and make a better world. Now, as you can see, we advocate for 4 main areas. The first being business process improvement consultancy. What really sets us apart from our customers, from our competitors, is our adopt consulting methodology. So first of all, we assess our customers' problems. From there, we identify gaps, and we give our customers solutions through education. When it comes to survey design hardware consultancy, we focus on scan to BIM services, interior scanning services, laser scanning hardware. The next one, design software consultancy. We are very proud to be the second largest Autodesk Gold partner in South Africa. And then lastly, of course, we have our blended learning. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, specifically CAD learning. So we're also very proud to be an authorized Autodesk training center. And with that blended learning, in conjunction with our online Autodesk learning platform, we get our customers to that 100% knowledge capability. All right, so an Autodesk online learning platform, what is it? So our CAD learning online platform, it is first of all an Autodesk authorized publisher. It's a management system. It focuses also on pre-hire assessments. It's an onboarding tool. You can focus on Autodesk gap skills training. It's customized Autodesk learning paths. It's a reporting tool, Autodesk certification prep, so you can prep for Autodesk certification exams. You can use it as a productivity tool. There are over 35,000 Autodesk tutorial videos, and also there's over 40 different Autodesk products, and that is including Fusion, Inventor, and Vault. Now let's look at the benefits of an online learning platform. Again, when it comes to the people in your organization, it is engaging and motivating because everyone learns in their own unique manner. So that's why it is very, very beneficial. It's a centralized learning platform. You can have multiple users on one platform using it at one time. You have evaluation capabilities, you can track performance, and then it also has an interactive environment, so you improve that interaction in your organization. In terms of processes, you can do tracking and reporting. You have access to your employees' records. It's a simplified learning process. It's very easy to use, and also the help is built within the system, so getting that assistance is directed and fast. There is a reduced cost and time because you don't have to travel to a training center. And then lastly, in terms of technology, you do have the technology leverage. It is future ready. In terms of adoption is much faster and better. Upgrades are easier because it's all available at one time and one system. And then it's available anytime, anywhere learning. and it's also on your own time and your own pace. CAD Learning has two main learning platforms in terms of you have your access through individual and enterprise. And the enterprise option is what we're going to be focusing on today, and is specifically focused at organizations. Okay, so let's have a look at the challenges that are in the industry at the moment, especially directed to people, processes, and technology. So when it comes to people, there is a shortage in the industry with skills, and that has a negative impact on the productivity and obviously on your costs. In terms of hiring, onboarding, and upskilling, the challenges that are faced there is that first of all, there is already a shortage in the industry, and once you need to hire the correct person. In terms of onboarding, all your onboarding processes should be aligned, and then obviously when it comes to upskilling, organizations say that they only have about 20 minutes a day to spend on training and upskilling, and also you want to take away that redundant learning. In terms of employee talent retention, 60% of employees actually leave their current position because they feel like their current environment is not upskilling and they feel stuck. And when it comes to classroom training, unfortunately, statistics do show that when it comes to knowledge retention, only 40% of what is learned in the classroom is retained within the next 72 hours. In terms of your processes and the challenges faced there, we have productivity interruptions, and unfortunately in South Africa, load shedding is a reality. So how do you keep your staff and your teams productive when they're offline? And also when it comes to shared knowledge, unfortunately, it's a reality that there is a lack of shared knowledge in organizations. So when you have 20 Autodesk users, and if one user stops to ask another user some help and some information, you have 20% of your team offline. Managing work from home teams, the challenges there's that lack of one-on-one management and project management. How can you find, are you sure you have the right person for the project? And then obviously in terms of support can be frustrating and time consuming from the support team, but also from the end user, because sometimes they cannot find what they are looking for and it wastes time. In terms of your technology, in terms of technology advancements, do you have the right software? Adoption can be time-consuming and costly. You don't want to spend so much money on software and then adopt it incorrectly. IT teams working from home, do you have the right technology and is it accessible? And then lastly, your client's expectation can be a challenge because clients are looking for solutions that are better and faster. So you need to remain competitive. So how can CAD Learning help you with all of these challenges? So we do have a solution for you. In terms of your people in the organization, CAD Learning focuses on assessments. In terms of hiring, you can focus on pre-hire assessments. You can send to a possible candidate and you will be able to track and see exactly what they know. So you can align their CV with their job requirements. When it comes to onboarding, we want to eliminate that redundant learning. So creating playlists that are unique to specific new hires will target their individual learning gaps and eliminate that redundant learning. Upskilling, once you have retained that talent that you are looking for, it is so important that you nurture them and upskill them. So again, customize roles and goals and pathways for them for their own unique learning. And then, of course, your Autodesk certification preparation, which is so important. If you invest in an Autodesk examination, you want to make sure that you are preparing for it correctly. And CAD Learning is authorized content from Autodesk, so it will help you get to that 100% knowledge retention. And then, as I'm speaking about knowledge retention, it is a great companion for in-classroom training. If you train in the classroom, then you can use CAD Learning after hours just to go over and revise. In terms of project management, you can use the CAD Learning project placement functionality to find the correct person in your team for the job. And then obviously, again, your employee retention. You can limit that churn by making sure that you're upskilling and keeping your valuable team members. In terms of the processes in your organization, let's limit those productivity interruptions. When it comes to managing teams from home, you can pull reports and analyze engagement. You can really see exactly what your employees are doing, what they're struggling with, and how you can help them. CADLearning has a plugin, which we will show you in the demonstration later, but that is a plugin within the software that you can get directed answers when you need it. And it's got everything you need. In terms of product help, there's over 35,000 videos, and again, 40 different Autodesk products, so you will get what you are looking for. Project management, standard positions that repeat across projects, you can automatically assign that. And then, of course, training under COVID-19 restrictions. CADLearning is a great alternative. Training does not need to be put on hold. In terms of the technology in your organization, a CADLearning solution, in terms of new technology, there are different versions of a particular software. You need to bridge that gap. So if you are used to an older version and you need to upskill to the latest version of a technology, CADLearning can help you with that. In terms of adoption, the AI experts answer your questions, and there's lesson suggestions, so you'll be able to adopt your technology faster. And then the help desk will help you. And then there is an app available that is available anytime, anywhere. From here, I'm going to be giving the presentation or the webinar over to Nuran, and she will take you into a demonstration of the platform.
Thanks, Natalie. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and share my screen. Okay, can I just get some confirmation that you can see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Cool. Okay. So welcome everyone. I'm going to be building on what Natalie was referring to, specifically looking at how CADLearning can help to solve some of the problems in the bucket of the people, the staff or your team members, in terms of learning and so on, and also just give some in-product demonstrations of the CADLearning platform. And so we'll look at different ways that assessments can be used when you are going through a hiring process or onboarding either new staff members or existing staff members onto new roles, as well as upskilling over the years and preparing for Autodesk certification exams. And all of these will in the software itself just helps with that knowledge retention over the years and fostering that talent within your team. So just looking at the product range within CADLearning, of course, it's all Autodesk software, but particularly for in the manufacturing space, and what we're also talking about today are programs such as Inventor, Fusion 360, and Vault. You'll also see that AutoCAD is also supported with in this platform, and then it goes further into detail looking at specific features of AutoCAD MEP, as well as AutoCAD mechanical and electrical and so on. And so the content that is on the platform can be very specific to your role and to your field. And one of the main things when it comes to the way that the platform is actually set up is that it is with the intention of creating a gamified experience for users that use the platform for learning. And so with this gamified approach, that helps to keep team members motivated as they're going through a learning path, and that motivation essentially, as it lasts, results in growth of employees on an individual level, as well as growth within the team. And so you're always making sure that your team is staying up to date. They're always staying motivated and always wanting to learn and grow. And that is something that is valuable in any industry or any field that you are in. And so looking at the interface itself, just by looking at it, you can see it doesn't look like necessarily what you would expect from a learning platform, and some of the features on here that tends to the gamified experience is, if you look at whenever you go online, you'll have this pop quiz that pops up on the top left, and you can quickly go and read the questions and answer them, and that actually does adds like to your goals that you will have, that we will look at in a bit. It adds to that, and your progress also will be updated according to the pop quiz questions that you answer, and it's also like a nice quick little test for yourself to see how well you actually know these things right off the bat. The progress pie chart is also always available. So once you've committed to a particular learning path or particular goal, you can see how close you are to that. And also what's really nice is for each of the goals that you set for yourself, CAD Learning also has a very summarized sort of what's called a burn down chart, showing you how much time you would need to actually reach your goal. And it is live, so depending on the rate at which you use the program, that burn down chart will adjust as well. So I want to jump straight into roles and goals, which is a feature specific to the platform, and it allows you to set roles for individuals in a team, and then also assign goals to those roles or individual users. So for each piece of software that is supported within the platform, it is broken down into lessons. So for example, what you're seeing now is the AutoCAD goal that is set for a Autodesk certification exam, and the lessons are broken down into so the goal is becoming certified professional AutoCAD user. And this goal is broken down into medallions. So what you're seeing, layouts and printing, for example, that's one topic that you can learn, that's referred to the medallion, and then the badges are subsections within that, and then within those badges or those subsections, they are made up of bite-sized videos that tackle one specific topic at a time. And the videos typically are like 2 or 3 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, but not much longer than that, just so that the content is digestible. It allows you to learn one piece of tool at a time, and that also just helps with maintaining that momentum and maintaining the motivation to get through small goals at a time. And this is an example of what a burn down chart could look like. So depending on the rate at which you consume this information and consume the content, you get a little bit of an estimation of when your time to complete your goal would be. So in the case of a user, so this, for example, is Hailandi, who is one of my colleagues. She's in the mechanical space, and she is a user and a trainer of Fusion 360, Inventor and Vault. And so, for example, she's starting off perhaps with AutoCAD. And so currently that is her goal at the moment. You can see on her burn down chart that she's completed quite a few of those videos. But what we're going to see now is her adding Fusion 360 as a goal to her learning path. So within her dashboard, she can see the videos that have been that are available, and she wants to now add Fusion 360 as a goal. And so from the drop down, the Autodesk certified user preparations are goals that are available by default. You also can specify the version of the software. And so now if you look at a dashboard, you can see that Fusion 360 has been added as a goal, and you can see the time to complete, the number of videos and badges and medallions that she would need to complete to reach this goal. You can see all of that nicely summarized, and then you can go one by one and select the videos. So this would be the first video for projecting geometry, and the videos are they've got some text that come up, they've got captions, and of course there's a voiceover as well. And you can see this one is 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and it gives you a little bit of a demonstration inside the software and where to go, a little bit of a how-to. You also can speed it up. There's some subtitles as well, and a transcript at the bottom as well. All of these things that are optional and makes the learning process a lot easier. Okay, so while consuming all of these videos and watching the content, you also can assess yourself. You can assess yourself before listening to the videos or after, and this is also something that just helps to reduce that redundant learning, so that if you do the assessment before the time and that gets ticked off if you get the answers right, so you don't have to go and watch videos of content that you already know. So let's just look at an example of doing one of the assessments. It's quite quick. So we can see here the project geometry video was just watched. It has a tick next to it, and the assessment as well was done. So now I'm going to go over to the next topic, which relates to dimensions. And I can choose to watch the video or not. So in this case, I'm just going to skip through the video. And then actually do an assessment on creating dimensions itself. So perhaps I know how to create, or Helandi knows how to create dimensions, so she's going to go and skip straight ahead to the assessment. And the assessments are in the form of multiple choice. You also can create customized assessments, which we will look at in a bit. And here you can see now that it's clear Helandi does know how to make use of dimensions within Fusion 360. And now if we go down to this badge for creating dimensions, you can see it shows that it's been completed, and she doesn't have to go and re-watch the videos because it's content that she already knows. And so now let's look at what happens when it comes to content that you don't already know. So again, under the Fusion 360 goal, I'm going to go down to, or Helandi is going to go down to the annotations. And before watching the videos, because it's quite a lot, she's going to just assess her progress and see how well she actually does know annotations within Fusion 360. So once again, she'll do the multiple choice. I'm just going to go ahead and skip through this. And also there's some snippets from the programs that come up and questions are asked about that as well. And here you can see she doesn't necessarily know annotations that well. She's only got 30% of the answers. And what's really nice is it gives you a summary of the videos of the questions that you got wrong, so that you know exactly what content to go and brush up on. And now she can go and create a playlist of that content that includes only the questions that you got wrong, not the ones that you got right. And so that once again just reduces that redundant learning. And you can see now in the playlist that there are the videos have been populated. She can choose to share this with other team members. Once she's watched it, she can go and assess it again. And once she has gotten all the questions correct, she can then go and delete this playlist, and she knows that she has covered and mastered that topic. Okay, and here you can just see another snippet of her roles and goals. So currently she's got a goal of getting certified for both AutoCAD and Fusion 360. And what's really nice is that you can set up what's called roles. So if you've got multiple people in your team that perform the same role in the team, or they need to have the same experience, you can go and create those roles and then assign goals to that role in a way like to do like batch assigning of goals to individuals. This can be done by like a line manager or a BIM manager or a BIM coordinator that kind of facilitates the learning and the growth of individual team members. So the next thing I want to demonstrate is someone who takes a role like that. So just for argument's sake, this is myself, and I'm going to assign the role of Inventor specialist to Helandi, and then also specify which programs that a Inventor specialist typically would need to be proficient in. So on the organization tab, as one of the organizers, I can go over to the users, and I can go and find one of my team members, who in this case is Heilandi, and we have got some divisions and groups that are set up in our team. So we've got a professional services team, and I can go and assign her to that group and to that division, so that I can manage all my team members. And because she is the only Inventor specialist in our team, I'm going to assign this role to her particularly. So she needs to be an Inventor specialist who is proficient in advanced part modeling as well as Inventor as a whole. So once that is saved, when Heilandi now goes, back onto her profile and scrolls down, you'll see that Inventor has been assigned to her as a goal, because now she needs to take up the task of being the specialist in Inventor. And as you can see, she's already completed some of the videos, and so that is automatically logged here as well. So once again, she doesn't have to go and repeat learning the things that she already has, especially since she's already done the assessments, just to mark that she does in fact know those topics. Okay, so she can also herself go and add goals for herself. It's not only the organizers or the BIM managers or so on who can assign goals, but users can assign their own goals as well. So straight from the dashboard, you can go add goal, and then there's a few goals that are available by default. So let's say she needs to be certified as for Inventor mechanical design, and within this goal, there are 3 different products. So Inventor itself, Inventor for sheet metal, and Inventor advanced part modeling. And all of these products will be included in this goal that she can work through bit by bit. Okay, so let's talk about upskilling. So sometimes you might find, or users might find that whether they need to upskill or whether they need to be reminded of something that they've learned some time ago, but don't remember it anymore. You also can go and search directly for content, even if it's not part of your goals. So this is going to look at an example of searching for something in AutoCAD. So let's say, for argument's sake, I want to review something about object snaps in AutoCAD. I can just go and search that, and then I will get a list of videos that include this content in them. So I'm just gonna, and here you can see on the left the various products that include topics on object snaps. I want only the topics that relate to AutoCAD, and then once again, if I click on this, it takes me straight to the video, much like the video we saw previously. There's some subtitles, and also what's nice is that you get resources and links to each video so that you can follow along with the demonstration together at the same time. So this will be a DWG from the AutoCAD lesson. Takes you to the Autodesk drive that allows you to download the drawing, and then you can open it up directly. And you'll see that it looks exactly the same as the drawing that the demonstration is about, and so you can follow along with the video. Okay. So where this becomes even more useful is when you use the CADLearning Assist plugin. So it's essentially the learning platform inside your AutoCAD application. It's a add-in or a plug-in that you can download. Once you download it, you can see at the top in the tabs, the very last tab is the CADLearning tab. And once that is activated, what you usually see on the web platform becomes basically like one of your palettes that you can dock on the side of your AutoCAD application. And what's nice is you can watch the videos within this palette, and so while you are in AutoCAD, you've actually got the videos on the left as well. And so we can just look at what this looks like. So this is my AutoCAD docked on the one side of my screen. And when I select one of the videos, the object snap videos, a window pops up with this video, and now I can actually watch this side by side and follow the steps. So the left-hand side is the AutoCAD video, the right-hand side is me in the application following the steps. So there is, of course, a voiceover that is explaining what is happening together with instructions on the screen. And this can be done with any video. So of course, object snaps is one of the very basic things within AutoCAD, but the same for Fusion 360, Inventor and Vault. You could do the same thing. Okay. So when it comes to gap training, this is sometimes important, especially when you've got users who are using some of the software for a long period of time, because with all of the Autodesk products, there's always updates that are happening every year. And so if you've started to learn or started to use a program in 2016, by the time you get to 2021, there's very likely some tools and features that you don't know about. And so within CADLearning, you can create this gap training content that allows you to just do learning on the things that are new between the two programs. So you create a playlist essentially of new lessons between the different versions of the software. And this, for example, is AutoCAD. And what you're seeing on the right is a playlist of updates between version 2016 and version 2021. This helps you to remain up to date with all the advancements and updates of the software. So I'm just going to also give another demonstration of how this gap training playlist can be created for Inventor. So once again, this could typically be done by whoever is an organization manager, whether it's the line manager or the person that's overseeing the upskilling of the team. So this is an Inventor gap training playlist. So we'll just give it a name and then create the playlist. And then when you go to the content, but this is where you can define which videos you would like to see. So we're creating the gap content specifically for Inventor. So we will go and browse to the Inventor software. And then you will have an option to choose the two versions. So we're going between 2018 and 2021. And then you just click generate and you can see that a playlist appears on the right. And this is all the new updates that has happened inside the software between 2018 and 2021. You also can go and remove some of the topics. So let's say things that perhaps you already know or things that are not that critical, because the list can get quite long when the difference in time is quite long. So you can go and delete some. You also can reorder some of the lessons. Maybe you can put the most important one first and so on. And then now if we just save this, you can then go and assign this playlist to multiple different users who need to sort of brush up on some of the later things. And this playlist is available to share with multiple team members at any time. Okay, so now looking at the CADLearning mobile app. So this is available on both the Play Store as well as the Apple Store. And so here we can see that the dashboard has exactly the same components as the web platform. So here, once again, you've got the pop quiz that appears first. And what's really nice is that, you know, if you are just sitting around waiting for something, you can actually do this pop quiz and it will populate on your progress bar, and that adds to getting closer and closer to your goal. You also can see what videos are next within your goal, and that is based on sort of the videos from shortest to longest. That's how the what's up next playlist works. And here you can see, you can also scroll through your medallions and your badges to see which videos you have watched and which you haven't. So you can actually come and watch some of these videos maybe in lunchtime or while you're traveling on the way to work or back. whatever the case. So it just helps you to get through the content a lot quicker and actually make use of your time a lot more effectively. And then coming to reporting, so what's nice is because everything is happening in one place, there are some nice reporting tools that you can use. This also helps to create some little bit of like competition or some more motivation within the team, so you can see who are some of your rock stars, like you can see here, and also who are struggling a little bit and might need some help, perhaps they need more time, and so on. So if you go over to the organization tab and you go into the reports tab, you can see that there are a number of pre-configured reports that you can extract. These reports can be received in Excel or CSV file. You also can then go ahead and process it even further if you wanted to, but this is all available here. So you also can look at the report cards and things straight from the platform without downloading them if you wanted to. So if you wanted to review a report card from a particular user to see how they've done in some of the assessments, you can do that as well. And here you can see the various members who have done the Inventor skills assessment. You can see who struggled with which questions. And so it's just a nice overview that you can have straight from the platform. You also can schedule a report. So if you want to have weekly reports or monthly reports of a specific employee or of a specific group or team that is using a specific product, you can do that as well. This report, the scheduled report, will then be emailed in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. And then once again, you can go ahead and format this further if you wanted to, if you needed to do like a presentation or something just to show the team's progress. So in closing, I just would like to say that these tools can be used in different ways. There are a lot more to it, but it really is a tool that puts learning in the hands of the user, and it also does help with that team engagement and team camaraderie to motivate each other and get closer and closer to their goals and always remain up to date and upskilled. And then once again, this is really something that just adds to that employee lifecycle value, whether you are at the hiring stage, at the onboarding stage, upskilling, or you really just want to keep your team motivated, keep your team engaged, and really just keep your talent as such. And so with that, I just would like to hand back over to Natalie, and she will take you through the rest of the presentation.
Great, thank you, Yaron. All right, so now I just would like to show you how well CADLearning is doing in South Africa with one of our customer success stories. So the question that we asked Gerald here is, what was the problem in your organization, in your company that you encountered that CADLearning could solve? And he responded that he never had a specific formal training on AutoCAD, and when he started larger projects, he would need this knowledge and he would need to upskill on it, and therefore he would turn to YouTube for this information. And then he found that it would take him about 30 minutes to search for a particular content that he needed. And then in came CADLearning, and he was able to use CADLearning for more directed results and search, and was able to get the information that he needed much faster and carry on with his project. The second question that we asked him is, did any current employees, or were there any other benefits? And he said that he had a new employee on, and as more work came in, he had to get a new hire, and he also had very little formal experience on Fusion 360, and then therefore they were able to use CADLearning as an onboarding tool and a platform, and that really did assist also when it came when he had to work from home. So in conclusion, we can see that when it comes to the problems with the people in the organization with skills, shortages, hiring, onboarding, upskilling, employee retention, the processes and the technology, CADLearning as an Autodesk online learning platform is really a great solution to all of those problems. It's a multifunctional tool and it doesn't just direct to one, it's not just one solution, it's multiple solutions. So it really does assist with hiring, onboarding, upskilling. Your productivity will be increased. And then of course, the technology adoption will be faster, easier, and more successful. Now, when we look at a learner methodology scorecard, we can just have a look at the difference between an internet search, classroom training, and then of course CAD learning. The depth of sometimes an internet search can be a bit distracting and a bit too much. In terms of classroom training, the depth is just one level offering, one product offering for a couple of days, whereas CAD learning, you have access to 35,000 tutorials and over 40 different products. And I've had customers in the past that specifically got CAD learning, let's say to focus on Inventor, and then in a couple months' time, they got new projects that maybe required a different software, and then they were able to use CAD learning. The impact in terms of internet search, not only is the search distracted, but the impact of learning the incorrect information can also be very, very damaging. And then, of course, we get to that knowledge retention again. Only 40% of what is learned in a classroom is kept within the next 72 hours. So again, CAD learning is a great companion to classroom training, and even on its own, it helps users get to that 100% knowledge retention that we are looking for. In terms of accessibility, again, the distracted search, you know, COVID-19 restrictions are opening up now, but still there are some restrictions to the classroom training. And then obviously CAD learning is that targeted search that you need, so it is very accessible. In terms of price, I mean, you would need just the internet for that. In terms of classroom training, sometimes classroom training can be approximately 3,500 for a user just for a couple of days. And again, it's only normally for one product offering, where CAD learning, you can look at approximately around 650 Rand per user for the whole year. And again, you're getting over 40 different Autodesk products. So is this option for your organization? Maybe, you know, leaving your training for an internet search isn't the best idea. And classroom training is great, but sometimes it's not that effective. And an Autodesk learning platform like CAD Learning is a great alternative to all of these problems. What's next? You can get a free consultation from myself about CAD learning. Please reach out to me. Here is my email address, or you can contact us directly, my LinkedIn. And then also our next industry focus webinar would be specifically focusing on construction cloud, and that will be at on the 4th of November. And then if you happen to be outside South Africa, we are very, very proud and very lucky to have a channel outside of South Africa. So if you happen to be in one of these regions, please, I'm going to leave this for a few seconds so that you can grab this information. If you aren't able to grab this information, feel free to contact me and I will direct you to one of our channel partners that will assist you with CAD learning in one of these regions or a region near you. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to leave this section for some questions. Please feel free to put the questions in the chat and then we will ask you answer your questions. Oh, I see there's a question over here. The question is the platform CPD accredited? No, it isn't at the moment. It isn't CPD accredited. However, remember that CAD Learning is an Autodesk authorized publisher. So the content is authorized by Autodesk. We are the largest Autodesk authorized publisher in Africa, and we have one of the largest libraries of Autodesk authorized published content in the world. See if there's any more questions. Here's another question. What the enterprise? Okay, so in terms of the enterprise, I just want to explain the enterprise and the individual. So those are the two different consumption platforms that you have on CADLearning. You can access the platform through our website, the Baker Baines CADLearning website, which is just individual, one single user access that you can access for 12 months. It's annual access. And in terms of the enterprise option is directed towards more organizations that need it for a management tool as well as a training tool, and that would be for a minimum of 10 users. And again, it is also annual access. Here's another question. Is CADLearning available offline? Unfortunately not, it's not available offline, but remember that you can access it through the app as well. So you don't necessarily need to be on a laptop or on a computer to access the website. You can access it through the app on your smartphone. So let's say you are on site or you're not in the office, you can access the learning material through the app, and you can get it through the Play Store as well as through Apple. Okay. I'm just going to give it a few more minutes for any other questions. I have a question here. Can you share the content with other people in your organization? So yes and no. So you can definitely share content within your organization, but only if the user that you want to share the content with has access to the platform. So let's say, for example, in your organization, you have individual access, but a colleague of yours happens to also have individual access. Then you will be able to share those playlists with anyone who has access to CADLearning. On the other side, in terms of the enterprise option, how the organizational enterprise option is built specifically for people to share content with other people in the organization, like Neuron showed you. Okay, I see someone is also asking, are you able to create and upload custom content? Okay, so through the enterprise option, you are able to create and build your own custom content. Through the individual access, because you will have access through our platform, CADLearning Baker Baines platform, that function is not available. It's only available on the enterprise option. So in this case, as an admin, you can create your own custom content. So for example, you can create your own learning path, and you can grab from different lessons from different softwares. Even it can be a lesson from Fusion 360, Inventor, and also AutoCAD. So you can create your own learning path. And also, if you have internal training requirements and training videos, there's also a function on the enterprise level to upload that custom organizational content onto CADLearning. So you can have all of your learning in one platform. Okay, I think let's see if there's any other questions in the chat. I've got a question here. Can more than one user use the sign-on? So it is single sign-on access. So basically what that means is, pardon me, so it's designed for your specific learning path. So it is created for only single user access. So only one person or one user can use the access at one time or throughout the whole 12 months. And you can think of it specifically like your Netflix. If you have Netflix, if you have access to Netflix, if you have a Netflix profile, the profile is specifically generated to your needs and your requirements. And that's exactly what applies here at CADLearning on the platform. If you start doing assignments, tests, and assessments, you'll see that the AI machinery on the platform will pick up your specific learning requirements and also take away content that you already know. So if another user comes onto the system, onto your profile, starts an assessment, and maybe knows knowledge that you don't know, you get back on the platform, you will miss that knowledge. So it's very, very important that you keep it single sign-on access. Okay, I don't see any more questions. I'm going to leave it just a few more minutes, just so that everyone gets an opportunity to ask a question. Okay, so I think that there are no more questions. So that will then conclude our webinar for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please have a great day.